Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some more News Tower, shall we? Picking up where we left off with our guide for complete beginners. And this is week 2. We need to talk about comfort levels. This was something I actually was trying to do in the first episode, but they wouldn't let you because the control was turned off. So this button right here shows you the different diagnostic overlays that you can put up. So if I click on this and I go to the heart that's broken, you can see comfort. This view mode shows how comfortable areas in your tower are. Green represents a comfortable environment. Red represents an uncomfortable environment. Some machines cause a lot of discomfort, like the printer. Nobody likes to work next to such an oily industrial machine. We can build walls to limit the negative areas or add another floor. Let's build a wall with a door to contain the discomfort. So, this game does a fantastic job of explaining to you what's causing comfort, where people are happy and not happy, and then making it really easy to mitigate those factors, because you see these caution signs that display in colors representing severity. So yellow means like small issue, as you see up here on these bars, and then red means massive issue. And if you click on these, it actually, not now, but later, when we're not gated in the tutorial, will open up the build panel for the exact array of options you have to buy and install that will mitigate those factors. So if it's too hot or too cold, or if it's too noisy, you can buy stuff to do that. Now they want us to make a door, so I'm just going to push B, open the build panel, and this might be confusing, I guess, but it just shows a picture of a door, but this includes the wall as well. So you just drag this out, and you can put it wherever you want. They want us to put it right here. So if I drop this here for $50, and a lot of these things, like walls, you could see in the upper left, I have unlimited of these, and I could build it. Bam. Now they're letting us build an acoustic panel, a small fan, a clock, air vent, all kinds of comfort stuff. So they want us to counter discomfort with objects at this point. Over here on the build, you see there's a badge next to every new item I got. Now we could search for what we're looking for, but check this out. I'm going to zoom in on the telegrapher room right here. This telegrapher, the first one we came with, he already had an acoustic panel to mitigate his noise. This guy doesn't, which is why his desk is generating noise. So his workspace is noisy, which if you click on him, Tom, and then click on his condition, you might see that his concentration is sapped by the fact that it's too noisy, that he might complain about that. He's not right now. This is pretty low. I always take care of these issues. If I just click on this noise, though, it'll bring up noise counter as a categorical tab, and I could just drag this over here. It's $50. I have unlimited, and then just get it closer until you see that warning sign disappear. You can see the bars just appear and kind of like go up and down as I put this here. And if I just kind of put it right over his desk, boom. Now there's no noise at all. By the way, if you push 3, oh, it's not letting me turn it off. Never mind. You can change the view by pushing 1, 2, and 3 on your keyboard to switch between, like, okay, here we go. 1, 2 is hide the building, and then 3. Oh, okay, you just have to push 1. You can't just toggle it with 3. Okay, sorry, that was my own fault. So if you push 1, it will cancel it, and 3 brings it back up. So we've dealt with the noise here. Now, there's a temperature and a noise issue here. There was a temperature issue by this door, but that seems to have kind of like gone away mysteriously. So I'm going to click on, I already know the noise. All I have right now for noise is acoustic panel. So I will build an acoustic panel right here. And now noise is no longer an issue from the printer at all, unless you're in the room with the printer. But we still have a heat issue. So I'm going to click on heat and see what we can do. Well, I can build a fan or an air vent. I could put a fan here, or I could put a fan here, and I will. I'm going to put a fan on this side of the wall, and now we just have a little bit of heat issue over here. And if I put an air vent right there, it's done. That's it. So all negative issues outside of the printer room are gone. Now, when I was playing this game the first time, what I did was I spent a lot of time like trying to mitigate the printer and putting in a bunch of different things, fans everywhere. I'm going to be honest with you. This printer is too disruptive to mitigate. But as far as I can tell, and if you know more, please correct me if I'm wrong. But as from my experience, as far as I can tell, this doesn't bother anybody, the printer, because no one ever goes in this room. The only people that would ever go in this room are the people who need to reload the paper and the cleaner. And they only do it for a little bit. So I don't even bother putting anything in here because like I could put acoustic panels, up here. But look how little of an effect they have. It just seems like a drop in the bucket. And my thought is we just don't have... Later you will get better technology to counter this stuff. But right now, So I'm just going to leave it there. Now, they want us to build more objects to fulfill the requirements. But I'm pretty sure if I want, I could just click on it. There we go. And she's going to give me the explanation. And so, yeah, she does want us to build stuff. So fine, I'll build a, Now, I'm not going to build fans, though. Fans take power. I'm going to build some air vents. Here you go. I'll put an air vent like here. And I'll put one, I don't know. Over there. Perfect. That's good enough. I'm telling you what. I can raise this up. It actually does worse, though, so I'm going to try to put it down. There we go. Don't spend too much money, and watch out for your fan taking your power. Okay. So now she wants to say, learn how it affects your employees. And click on this button to see how they're feeling. This bar represents their comfort. It plays an important role in the overall concentration of the employee, which is over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Derp. Okay. I misspoke before. I was looking at this bar as if it was concentration. This is vision. Take back what I said about that one. This is their comfort level, and concentration is their brain. Sorry. Complete collapse mentally right there. Keeping all the stats high will bring happiness to the employee and increase that employee's productivity. Actually, while we're talking about vision, though, it is a good reminder you need to have lights in any room that people are in or pass through, and sometimes one light won't do. You can see like where the light projects, but in a big room like this, you might need to put 2 lights to adequately illuminate the space. Just check with your people and look at their vision to see if they're getting enough light, but you'll see a pop-up above them with a negative kind of like moodle expression if something is bothering them. If the overall concentration becomes too low, our worker may start to work sloppy. And this results in like bad stories, stories that are not as good because there was sloppy editing or sloppy production or sloppy reporting. So you want to keep your employees as happy as possible, which, let's talk about how to do that. So I go crazy with this. I'm going to push B for building, and I'm going to go into the comfort section. And in the comfort section, you can build something like, I don't know, this painting. And it costs $100, but notice the green bars wherever this thing goes. People love this painting. So you can put it wherever you want. I could put it here. It doesn't look great. and be like, okay, I want to put it here. Or you can put it in here, but they already have a nice room. So I'm going to put it right there. And then the clock is amazing because the clock counters noise, counters heat, and counters smell. I don't know how, but it does so many good things. I put clocks everywhere. I'm going to put a clock in here. And hey, I'll put a clock in here. Look at how much happier the room gets. And oh, you guys need a clock? Here, have a clock. So there we go. Small plants are also amazing. And you can put them on people's desks. So if people's desks allow it, you can put it on these slots. You don't have to. And I don't put a ton of them. I'll put one over here. Because the thing about them is that they don't confer any benefits to the workers besides comfort. So I don't always put them. We have a trash can in here, which is good. We could use a trash can in the reporting room right there to help with any trash. And then, do I want anything else? Do I want, like... I could make my sweeper really happy with a clock in their room. And even these paintings, like this Aloha poster, you could take this and put it somewhere else if you want. You could give your sweeper something positive to think about. Okay, so now we have green. I don't try to max this out. I just try to make sure it's pretty decent. Even when people come in, we can put a clock in here. That's right, you're on the clock when you come in. They're only $25. They're so cheap. And they just have a pretty good effect, in my opinion. So there we go. So now, let's talk about our district. We need to get crime and we need to get sports. So what you can do, we already have an economy story ready to print. We need some paper. You can see it's flashing. We only have 50. I'm going to click on it. Oh, no, we can't order paper right now. Okay, they'll probably talk about that later. I'm going to push G for the globe. Okay, yeah, she's going to explain it. You can prioritize research with these buttons. They can help finding what you readers want faster. Every tag belongs to a category. If you're not sure in which category a tag belongs, hovering over it will give you a hint. By the way, you can tell I conflate tag and badge a lot with my own game terminology. Tag is the correct one. I apologize. So, we need crime. I'm going to click it. And we need sports. I'm going to click it. So now these are prioritized, and hopefully our telegraphers will find those kinds of stories. If you want, we have 4,000. We could look at the hiring board and see who's available. She's telling me right here I can click this to see my own staff. And this is nice. Here's what I do all the time. You can click your staff right here, see how much you're paying everybody. But generally I go to the reporter tab, and I use this to just see which kind of reporters I need to hire. So I have every story type covered, but only once. So like if Dennis is out on crime and a society story comes up, nobody can cover it. So you want to try to have a double up for every category. And you could do that now. I could go to build. I could drop in here and go reporting. I can now hire more reporters. I actually have an infinity symbol on that. And I could even go into production. I could bring one more telegrapher in, and I could bring another typesetter and assembler in. This would ensure that I had more stories and got them done faster. Now, this is a good idea, but I'm going to just say I don't think we need it right now. It's up to you. And the reason is we only have one page. As soon as we get a second page, I'm going to expand the operation dramatically. But for now, I think we can save money on salary by not hiring a bunch of people. So I'm just going to unpause the game and let them go and see what happens. Okay, they got some stories. Pause, push G for the globe. Look at this. Exactly what we need. Crime, right here. Dennis can do it. Skip it if it's not what you're looking for. They unlock this now. So this allows you to really, really quickly just bounce a story out and have your telegraphers find another story that you are looking for so that you don't miss out on any kind of special projects you're doing or district badges that you're looking for, or tags rather. But we are looking for this, so this will free it and allow the telegrapher to get a new item. Yes, since research is limited, sometimes dismissing news that's not important is the way to go. Judging the relevancy of news early on is a skill developed only by the finest publishers. Indeed, and again, it's not super important right now, but if I didn't get a crime story and I wanted them, I could do that. And later in the game, what I do is, like, if it's a story like this that has only one tag and that's the end of it, I might just kick it out unless I need it, or I'm trying to go for a combo. Usually I want like more elaborate stories that have a lot of tags that I'm going to get a lot of readers from, but this is fine. We're early. Okay. And then I'm going to click back on this, and I'm going to go to the sports story here, and I'm going to go right here. And now we have our reporters on the job of exactly what we need. I'm going to fast forward, and the reporters have dropped it off. We got a couple new stories. Okay, so let's see. Did they get 2? They did. So we have an economy story, and we have a politics story. You could see that there's no more stories in those categories left to get. So we can send our reporters out on these stories if we wish. There's only 2 more items left total to research. Or we could bounce these out. I'm going to get them. I can only print 3 stories, but we'll take a look at something in a moment. Okay, yes. Yes, I know. You told me that. Yep, thank you. I don't want to skip it. I think maybe she'll tell me that until I skip it. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, cool. We need papers. Let's order them. So we click here, and we're going to choose an option. 100 is fine for now. I'm just going to order the least amount of paper. Whenever you need supplies, you just click on it, and you get 3 options: small, medium, large. And you'll see a delivery truck come off, and they'll just, like, throw the paper out onto the curb. And look at this. We get a new employee type. This is our resupplier. So I'm going to pause the game. Those crates need to be transported. Build a supply desk to facilitate, and then assign somebody to transport the resources. So we need like a hauler, basically. So we're going to go to utility. I'm going to put a resupply desk all the way at the edge here. Actually, I lied. No, this is fine. Sometimes you want the resupplier to be central. This is okay early in the game. So we click here, and we get Ernest has the resupply skill. Well, it's 0, but he's got it. And we'll just drop him on here. Perfect. Push escape. But we're not done yet, because we want to buy a storage cabinet for him right next door. And then I'm going to go to structures, and I'm going to build a wall with a door right there. Now his room, you see how it's all dark? If I click on him, I don't know if it will reflect it immediately, but his vision will go down once I unpause the game. But let's just preemptively say no thank you to that. And we're going to go to power and light and just put a lamp in his room. Now, this lamp is over the door, which is good, but we can actually move this kind of like to center of this room to illuminate it a little bit better. And he's got his room here. You can see there's no comfort, though, in my man's room. So I'm going to go to comfort, and I can put a plant on his desk to make it spruced up. I could also give this guy a clock to really thrill him. And great. I don't really need to do much more than that. However, this is a tip that I believe my buddy Grim shared with me. Didn't know this. You can just actually pick up this crate of paper and then drag it where you want. And you can put it on the storage cabinet, and then the resupplier will kind of go around where it needs it. But you could see all of the places that actually take paper. So the telegraphers actually have to use paper, and then the printer itself obviously uses paper. Now, I'm just going to put him here, but it means that this guy doesn't have to take time doing that job of going down outside to the curb over on the sidewalk here and picking it up and then putting it on the shelf. Instead, he could just take it off the shelf and then go put it into the workstations that need it. Okay, great. So I'm going to fast forward. And see, here he comes. He's got his paper, and he's going to be like stocking up these different desks. So if you click on it, you can see it's got 52 paper. He actually gave all of the paper to that place. There are some stories that have opened up. There's a entertainment story, that's fine. And then there's this society story, and that's fine. I'm actually going to then order some more paper. Oh, and we got a water cooler. Cool. No pun intended. So somebody's thirsty, build a water cooler. So the water cooler is funny because it actually provides like food for your employees. It doesn't seem like that would do that, but the way that the game quantifies it is kind of like this gives them a break and food. So it's fine. I'm going to go here, and it goes in employee needs. So they do have a hunger need, and I like to put this kind of right here. Just right by the door on the second floor. People could come and get this. Now, if I click on it, you see it has food above it. So soon we'll need to order food to fill this back up, and food can be stored on this shelf as well. And the resupplier will tap it. Now, this room is god-awful. It has no comfort. So if we want people to have a good time while they're taking a break, first of all, we have to put a clock out here to remind them to get back to work. And then we want to go ahead. We don't have many other options. Like we could put a plant on the ground or something. It doesn't look great. Air vent, we don't need it. We could grab this painting and put it up here. And put the clock here. So these their room is less cool because they lost that painting. But it's okay. They'll be all right. We're spreading the love. I think this room is too dark. I just don't like how it looks. It's a little too dim for me, so I'm going to move a light over here, and I'm going to buy another light and put it like right over the doorway right there, and then that one right there. Not symmetrical, but lights up this room really well. Oh boy. Toilet. Sink. Oh no. Okay, so now we need to build a bathroom. So this is getting complicated. Somebody needs to use the bathroom. Build a toilet. Okay. So you can build this wherever you want. It doesn't matter if it's a pass-through or anything like that. But here's what I'm going to do. I was talking about doing this before. We're going to do it now. I'm going to use this drag tool. I'm going to select everything in this room. I'm going to pick it up and move everything over to here. And then I'm going to build a wall with a door and put it right there. So now I have this separate like resupply room, and it's right next to the printer, so that kind of makes sense. But I need a lamp in here. I no longer need 2 lamps in here. And I'm going to make this a pretty small space to give the bathroom a lot of space. So I'm going to click on employee needs. That's where the toilet is. And I'm going to put the toilet way over here on the wall. And you can see it makes about a bunch of smell, so you need to counter that. So click on the smell. And interestingly, this is how the game works. A sink actually counters the smell. So if you put and so does the mirror. If you put a sink and a mirror like right next to that, it really, really helps with the smell. And so does these tiles. So you just drag the tile over and it changes the wallpaper to be tile. It's expensive. But now this room looks really good. And you might, I'm going to zoom in on it. You might say, like, why in God's name are you building the sink that close to it? I'm doing that because of this. Watch this. I want 2 toilets in here. So I'm going to build a second toilet right there. Okay. And Then I'm going to go to odor again, and I'm going to build another sink and another mirror right there. And then we can put an air vent there and an air vent there. Yeah. There. And look at this. The bathroom has 2 toilets. It's weird. It's not like... I always get confused because of the depth in the game and the Z level. They don't have to walk through this toilet to get to this other toilet. There is depth. It's just not shown. But I, at first, like, logically, I just put the stall right next to the other stall like you have in bathrooms in real life. That creates an odor problem that's actually hard to mitigate, so I use this kind of structuring. You can even make this more narrow if you want to get really, really wild and be economical with the space, but then it creates some more odor problems. So I'm just going to do this. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, this is more toilets than we need for the moment. However, you're going to want to have more toilets later, so I'm just planning for the future. It's expensive a little bit, but it's not ridiculous. I'm going to go to comfort and just clear away all the sub tabs, and you know we're putting the clock in here. How about that? Now this is a nice bathroom. It's got comfort. All right, I'm going to unpause it. Oh, unstored resources. What's unstored? That might be a bug. I'm not sure what they're saying is unstored. I have a storage cabinet. Let's just see if that clears itself off. Let me see. What are you talking about? Unstored resources? Where? Maybe they're... I don't see any unstored resources. Okay, it went away. Alright, so now we're cruising. We got bathrooms. Roll the presses. By the way, another thing is, down here, if you want, you could change the wallpaper at any time of the rooms. If you like to, give it this kind of pinstripe look. Alright. And I'm going to speed it up. Last chance. Print now. We will. So, she's telling you can double-click this to expand all the cards, to see the headlines and everything. And you could double-click it again to see, like, where it's at, and you could shrink them. So here's what we want. Number 1, all of our stories only have 1 tag. So we can put whatever we want on the front page. Loaded pistol found at playground. I mean, that seems like a good story. You can't even go to the playground these days. Now, I did want to talk about this. This economy story that we had is now old news. So if you finish a story in the previous week, but you don't print it, you can still print it. However, it will give you a minus. So sometimes it's still worth it to do it. But in this case, we're probably going to let this story die because we have so many stories that we want to print. We know we need to print a sports story right there. And now we have some choices of what else we want to print. And it really doesn't matter. They will all give us the same return. You can swap them in and out. We have no combos. You know, it might be about like what you want to save for next week as an old news story. But right now we only have 1 page. This is all we can do. And we're going to make $750 predicted. But most importantly, we will satisfy the requirements of the subscribers in Williamsburg. So I'm going to say start, and we're going to go. So we sold 5,000 newspapers. Not too shabby. Not a record, though, because we had... Those were pretty bad stories. They were all just 1 tag. But You can see up here, we get district influence points because we met those requirements. And you can see right here, ... completed this. These mean subscribers. And there we go. A good month. And 2 of our people leveled up. This guy worked hard last week and earned enough experience to level up. So this means he got better at typesetting and Brad got better at assembling, which is fantastic. This combined with desk accessories can vastly improve their speed, which is awesome. However, they do cost more as employees, but in general, it's always worth it. You want, like, the best people possible. Great. Ooh, look at this. The Mafia wants to talk to us. So, click on the Mafia hat. I knew your uncle very well, and I'm saddened by his sudden disappearance. I hope nothing happened to my business associate. So, Mafia Man, who my uncle is in bad with, wants this. This represents a requirement for the next issue of your newspaper. He doesn't want to hear anything about politics. So, if we don't print any politics, we get 4 influence points and $500, which is great. All we have to do is just not print politics. So we will accept it. And this is our special objective, our hidden agenda. And now we need to pick a district to go for. So I recommend we want to get to the Industrial City Harbor so that we can get more pages. You can click on these to see what you can buy. So for example, down here, printer, there's page module 3, 4, and 5 that are available right here. We definitely want these. So I want to make my way over there. The police station offers good stuff about covering crime and also security, which we need as well. So getting here will give us the police station. We want the courthouse so that we can hire lawyers eventually. And, where's the... Yeah, this is the type editing desk for getting an editor, which is also very good. And here's the ad agency, which we also want. So some of these places that you can go, you can only get to if you clear the districts that lead to these buildings. They allow you to spend influence points to buy like upgrades and accessories for your building, but they also will give you options to hire new types of employees. So let's go here. They want crime and they want alarming. So what I do is I try to pick a district that goes with the hidden agenda. So as long as, like, if they wanted politics, well, that wouldn't work very well, but they don't. So we'll select it now. Alarming is a different tag because it's like a derivative. It's not, it's usually an add-on to another story. So it goes with crime and economy stories usually. So what we want to do is look for crime stories and hopefully find one that's alarming. So we'll say select it and we'll move on. I think you're ready to proceed on your own now. This will be the last you hear from me in person for a while. As usual, I've left some small tips for you on the way. But don't hesitate to explore on your own. There are many ways to run a successful news empire, indeed. Oh, and by the way, let's expand our newspaper with an extra page, shall we? Boom, she gives us an extra page right here. You may have to move some stuff around, but I promise it's worth it. Good luck. So now we get a second page, which is just fantastic. So we can print 6 stories instead of just 3. This will make us more money. This is beautiful. Oh, I don't even have a light in this room, which is hilarious. But we need to do a lot of stuff because we have no more space. We need to add another floor, so on and so on. I'm going to minimize all of these. Perfect. All right, everybody. Well, we're ready for week 3. We're ready to expand, add another floor, add another page, and work on a hidden agenda as well as a new district. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. We got a lot more to explain, so I'll check you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care.